Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on issue 29 of the Image Comics of Transformers. Now, as you know, we are up to issue 29 now, and this one is going to be an all-out battle between what Megatron's forces there are and Optimus' ranks now reboosted up. And the cover mainly has Thundercracker looking at Megatron, all big and menacing. And the story mainly starts off after Megatron starts eating Trailbreaker's remains. We see how the Decepticons are horrified by what he's done, apart from Skywarp, and we see Optimus saying, "Megatron!" And right away takes him head on, saying, "I will end you for what you have done." And right away, we see how Optimus makes it clear that it's time that his poison comes to an end, and that his corruption must come to a halt. And we see Megatron saying, "Poison? Where you see poison, I see glorious purpose." And right away, we see how Optimus makes it clear that there's no kindness left in him, and no passion left within him. And just as Megatron's about to blast Optimus, we see right away that Shredhead shows up to try and save Optimus, and right away all the other Autobots show up to try and take on Megatron, and we see how obviously the other Decepticons go on after them. And we see right away everyone keeps duking it out. We kind of see how there's more of a bloodbath, and right away this is obviously friend against foe, traitor against former ally, and ally against sort of rival, an all-out battle. And we see right away Soundwave gets the Constructicons to sort of destroy his sort of prison locks, and we see how RC and Ultramanus go in to try and stop them, and it becomes clear that due to obviously Ultramanus and RC being quite clever, they know that with more Constructicons, they know how crafty they can be. And after destroying the sort of lock system, they decide to kind of make a break for it, and just as they make it clear about holding their ground, we see how due to there only being 3 Constructicons, we see how they obviously make it clear to form Devastator, but right away, despite obviously one of their protests, they obviously form half a Devastator, and this shows you how crafty the Constructicons are. They know despite their small numbers, they can actually use their resources quite cleverly. And right away, we see how Bulkhead says, "Oh yeah, Bruticus? You got me? Well, we'll see about that." And right away, we see how Megatron tries to take on Optimus. We see how Beachcomber tries to save the wildlife. And obviously, Skywarp toying with Shredhead. And obviously, everyone trying to take on who they can. We kind of see how everyone's duking it out, and even showing just how much brutal this fight is. And obviously, we kind of see right away that the sort of Combaticons form back to their small numbers, and right away we see how Optimus helps Wheeljack out. And just as Megatron is about to execute Thundercracker for betraying him, he ends up suffering the whole torment from Derricin after the whole trial storyline, showing that after the events of the early issues, Megatron is getting worse and worse by the second, and even Rumble is horrified by this idea. And we see how even Thundercracker, despite being an Autobot now, even he sees that Megatron's just not evil, just slowly becoming worse and worse. And just as the sort of other Decepticons are beaten, we see right away that because of one Constructicon escaping, they end up reforming back to Devastator, and of course, due to Soundwave being clever, they obviously got the bodies of Slipstream, Blitzwing, and Dirge to reboost their numbers to a bigger proportion, and they make their break for it, and head back to their base, and just as Optimus calls out the Autobots to kind of go after them, we hear a voice saying, "No, Leave them to rule this significant planet of mud. It's long past time to answer to me. And obviously Elite 1 finally back on Earth with Cliff Chomper making it clear that issue 30 is going to go to a much more serious storyline, showing the difference between how Optimus and Elite 1 are going to handle the situation. And this is the story. So I think issue 29 is okay, but it's there to be a big bloodbath storyline, and it kind of shows you the difference between how Megatron and Optimus are a lot different from each other. Optimus tries to be the voice of reason. He understands obviously what Megatron's done is inexcusable. Megatron's corruption has gotten worse and worse to the point that he's become everything far worse than all of the other Megatrons combined. He's literally the example of what can happen when something can corrupt, slowly change, and make a person far worse. And I think that was the point of what Robert Kirkman's run is going for. The early issues made it clear because of obviously what happened with Cobra Law, what happened with his trial, and now here, Megatron is far too gone to be helped, saved, redeemed, and even being able to kind of be given a second chance. He's now become everything far worse to the point that Optimus knows Megatron can't be alive anymore and will have to take him down eventually. So I think this issue definitely deserves a thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, but kind of okay. So, comic book reviewer here, signing out.